My name is Lisa Kokin. I'm an artist, and I work mostly with recycled materials. I am fortunate to be in the Do Not Destroy exhibition at the Contemporary Jewish Museum. My piece is called Fauxliage, No Birds Sing. It's a piece that's made out of thread, wire, and the text from Silent Spring by Rachel Carson, a pioneering text in the field of ecology and environmental concern and activism. I've been making books since 1991, and this is one of the first books that I made. Like many of my early books, it's about growing up Jewish and childhood memories and the role of sewing in my life. My parents were upholsterers, and I played with fabric and vinyl and foam rubber and made stuff. Just all about that, like textiles being kind of in my blood, really. And then this is a book that I made for my mother's 80th birthday, which was almost 20 years ago, called Swatch book, and it's made all out of different fabrics. This vinyl is the kind of stuff that my parents used in their upholstery shop, and I transferred images from my mother's childhood and just kind of all stages of her life. So these are kind of swatches. Table of contents are early years, late early years, early middle years, middle years, late middle years, later middle years, more later middle years, early upper middle years, upper middle years, upperer middle years, and still kicking. Another book, I did actually 4 books from a copy of Mein Kampf that I found at the flea market years ago, and I bought it for $4, and I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I just thought, wow, there it is, Mein Kampf at the flea market. I have to have this. So I bought it, and it stayed in my studio for maybe 10 years, and just sort of emitting toxic fumes, mental fumes, until one day I cut it apart, and I made 4 books out of it. And this one's called Others Perish. And each one of them, I use this method of blocking out a lot of text and leaving some text that remains, and the text that remains subverts the original content of the book. So this is one of the 4 that I made. And then these little guys are my Selfhelp Rocks. Each one is the complete and entire contents of a book, 100 tips to be happy together. And this is a book object, Sew Not in Anger. It's not a book meant to be read. It's a sculpture. It's sewn in every conceivable way, from every angle. You know, the word obsessive is often used to describe my work, and I take it as a compliment, because I feel that all artists are obsessed. I mean, if you're not obsessed with your subject, then, you know, why bother? So this is my most current work, and it's the work that I'm working on now, and I hadn't planned on doing this series. My mom passed away in December. She was 99 and a half, and she lived in a skilled nursing facility where I also teach art. And one of the things she said repeatedly a couple of days before she died was, "Take me home now." She just kept repeating that like a mantra. So the first thing I did was I started sewing those words, and I started making these pieces. So and I had been working with thread quite a bit. The piece that's in the current show at the Jewish Museum is mostly made out of thread. So these pieces are exclusively made out of thread using a stabilizer, and they appear quite abstract, but when you look closely, you will see that they are composed of that sentence, "Take me home now." So I just sort of spontaneously started doing that, which is how I work. I don't plan that much. You know, I'll see self-help books at the recycling center, and I'll start collecting them, and then I'll realize, oh, I need to make something out of these. And that's how a series is born. So I can show you how I do these. This is my trade secret. People in textiles know about this stuff. This is called a stabilizer. The brand name is Salvi. So it's actually a sheet of glue. And what I do is I write with a Sharpie marker, or sometimes I just don't even do that. But in this case, I wrote "Take Me Home Now" over and over again in this spiral, and now I'm sewing over it. One of the hard parts about this is that you don't really know what you're going to get. You really don't know what it's going to look like. at the end. And that's both hard and exciting because in my work, I don't like to do a lot of planning. I mean, I plan, but I don't plan in such an exact way that the end product looks exactly like, you know, what I conceived of it as. And in my teaching, I always emphasize that too, because I see people who get frustrated with things not, they come in with a preconceived idea, I'm going to make so-and-so, such and such an object, and then invariably it does not turn out that way. So I just tell them, just be aware and be open to, you know, paths in the road, you know, divergent paths in the road, and things will, you know, maybe more interesting things will happen than what you planned. So if you're open to it and, you know, accepting of it, then you'll be happier.